History is full of moments when humans made huge leaps forward. The Bronze Age, spanning from around 5,300 to 3,200 years ago, was one of those times. People figured out how to combine metals and make something stronger. That discovery led to better tools, better weapons, and a whole new way of life. But as civilizations grew, so did conflict. Empires rose and fell in an age defined by both progress and war. But what exactly is the Bronze Age, you might ask? Well, it's named after the revolutionary metal that transformed human society, bronze. This alloy, made by combining copper and tin, was stronger and more durable than pure copper, which had been used in earlier times. The discovery of bronze opened up a whole new world of possibilities, from crafting tools and weapons to creating stunning works of art. As people mastered agriculture, they indeed settled down, leading to the development of vibrant communities and the birth of cities. In Mesopotamia, the Sumerians established the world's earliest cities like Uruk. They were pioneers in creating a structured society that included developing the first known system of writing, cuneiform, which allowed them to record laws, transactions, and literature such as the Epic of Gilgamesh. One of their most significant contributions was the Code of Ur-Nammu, which predates Hammurabi's code and introduced fines and penalties for criminal offenses, illustrating a shift towards a more organized and regulated society. Moreover, the Sumerians' deep understanding of agriculture, mathematics, and astronomy was fundamental to their society's success. They also believed in a pantheon of gods who played a crucial role in their civilization, with Enki being revered as the god who bestowed wisdom and the essentials of civilized life upon humanity. In contrast, the city of Memphis in Egypt became a central figure in the development of a powerful civilization, known for its unique architecture, such as pyramids and temples, which served both as tombs for their pharaohs and places for worshipping their gods. The Egyptians made advances in writing, with hieroglyphics used for religious texts and papyri for administrative and literary texts, and they developed a calendar system that allowed them to predict the annual flooding of the Nile. The early civilizations really set the stage for what was to come in the Bronze Age. They started farming, built the first cities, and came up with the earliest laws. These innovations were crucial because they led to big breakthroughs in technology, society, and culture when the Bronze Age rolled around. It's impossible not to be amazed by the incredible technological advancements and innovations in metalworking. This period saw a true revolution in the way humans worked with metal, and it all started with copper. Copper mining and smelting became widespread during the Bronze Age, with ancient mines like the ones found in the Timna Valley in Israel and the Great Orme in Wales providing the raw materials needed to create tools, weapons, and ornaments. But it was the discovery of tin and the creation of bronze that really changed the game. Tin, which was much rarer than copper, was traded over vast distances, with sources as far away as Cornwall in England and Afghanistan supplying the Mediterranean world. When combined with copper, tin created a stronger, more durable alloy that could be used to craft a wide range of objects. Bronze craftsmen developed new techniques to work with this incredible metal, like lost wax casting, which allowed them to create intricate, detailed designs. They also mastered the art of sheet metal working, hammering bronze into thin sheets that could be used to make armor, shields, and decorative objects. The results of these innovations are truly stunning. From the magnificent Trundholm's sun chariot, a bronze sculpture depicting a horse pulling a sun disk, to the dancing girl of Mohenjo-Daro, a small bronze statuette of a woman in a provocative pose, the bronze artifacts of this period showcase the incredible skill and creativity of ancient metalworkers. But the Bronze Age wasn't just about creating beautiful objects. The advancements in metalworking also had far-reaching consequences for society as a whole. With stronger tools and weapons, people could cultivate larger fields, build bigger cities, and expand their territories like never before. As the Bronze Age progressed, the innovations in metalworking and agriculture led to the rise of powerful empires that would shape the course of history. From the banks of the Nile to the shores of the Aegean, great kings and queens built sprawling cities, waged epic battles, and created enduring legacies that still captivate us today. In Egypt, the New Kingdom saw the reign of some of the most famous pharaohs like Ramesses II, who led his armies to victory against the Hittites in the Battle of Kadesh. The Hittites themselves built a mighty empire centered around their capital city of Hattusa, with kings like Suppiluliuma I, expanding their territory through conquest and diplomacy. In Greece, the Mycenaean civilization flourished, with great palaces at Mycenae and Pylos that were filled with gold, silver, and bronze treasures. And in Mesopotamia, the Babylonian Empire reached its height under the rule of Hammurabi, who is famous for creating one of the world's first written codes of law. But with great power came great conflict, and the Bronze Age was also a time of intense warfare. The development of bronze weapons and armor, like swords, spears, shields, and helmets, changed the nature of combat forever. Chariots, drawn by horses, became a fearsome weapon on the battlefield, with the Hyksos invaders using them to conquer Egypt and the Egyptians later turning the tables on their enemies. Some of the most famous battles of the Bronze Age have become the stuff of legend, like the Trojan War, which was immortalized in Homer's epic poems. Other military campaigns, like those of the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose III, showcase the incredible organization and strategic planning that went into Bronze Age warfare. But among all the conflict and conquest, the Bronze Age was also a time of great cultural achievement. One of the most remarkable aspects of Bronze Age art is the incredible skill and creativity of the craftsmen who worked with metal. The Nebra sky disc, a bronze disc with gold emblems for the sun, moon, and stars engraved on it, is evidence of their proficiency in astronomy and metallurgy. A wooden box covered in elaborate mosaics of shells and precious stones, the Standard of Ur portrays scenes of war and calm, providing insight into the way of life of the ancient Sumerians. Writing also played a crucial role in the cultural development of the Bronze Age. As mentioned before, in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians developed a system of writing called cuneiform, which used wedge-shaped symbols pressed into clay tablets. In Egypt, hieroglyphs adorned the walls of tombs and temples, recording the deeds of pharaohs and the beliefs of the people. And in Mycenaean Greece, a script called Linear B was used to keep records of trade and commerce. Religion was another important aspect of Bronze Age culture, with people worshipping a wide range of gods and goddesses. The Sumerians of Mesopotamia had a rich and complex pantheon of gods and goddesses, each overseeing different aspects of the cosmos and human affairs. This society was initially governed by theocratic priests before kings took on a more central role, although religious officials continued to wield significant influence. Temples evolved from simple structures to elaborate ziggurats, serving as both religious and political centers. The universe's creation was attributed to cosmic births, with humans believed to be crafted by divine entities. The afterlife was envisioned as a dark, dreary underworld ruled by the goddess Ereshkigal. In Egypt, religious beliefs were woven into the societal structure, emphasizing the pharaoh's divine nature. These rulers were considered living gods, acting as intermediaries between the people and the pantheon of deities they worshipped. The Egyptians also held a profound belief in the afterlife, meticulously detailed in texts like the Book of the Dead, which guided the deceased through the afterlife's challenges. The Minoans of Cretion, on the other hand, conducted elaborate rituals, including the famous bull-leaping ceremonies, possibly as rites of passage or to honor their deities. Unlike their contemporaries, evidence suggests the Minoans may have been governed by a theocratic system, possibly led by a priest-king and priest-queen duo. Worship often took place in peak sanctuaries, sacred caves, and small shrines, rather than centralized temples. Animal sacrifice played a significant part in their religious practices. The presence of chryselephantine figures and terracotta votive images at these sites suggests a complex religious life that revered a multitude of deities and sacred symbols. Trade and commerce were also vital to the cultures of the Bronze Age. Long-distance trade routes, like the Amber Road, which brought precious amber from the Baltic to the Mediterranean, and the Silk Road, which connected China to the West, facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas across vast distances. Maritime trade in the Mediterranean was dominated by the Minoans and the Phoenicians, who built powerful trade networks that linked the great civilizations of the time. Merchants and diplomats played a key role in these trade networks, with Assyrian merchant colonies establishing outposts in Anatolia and the Amarna letters recording diplomatic correspondence between the great powers of the day. But as the Bronze Age reached its height, the seeds of its downfall were already being sown. Around 3,200 years ago, the great civilizations of the Bronze Age suddenly and inexplicably fell apart, leaving behind a world in chaos and confusion. The causes of this collapse are still debated by historians and archaeologists, but it seems to have been a perfect storm of factors, including climate change, drought, earthquakes, invasions, and social unrest. Major cities and kingdoms like Hattusa, Ugarit, and Mycenae were destroyed and abandoned, never to be rebuilt. One of the most intriguing aspects of the late Bronze Age collapse is the role played by the Sea Peoples, a mysterious group of raiders and settlers who swept across the Mediterranean, attacking cities and kingdoms as they went. The Egyptian pharaoh Ramesses III fought a series of desperate battles against the Sea Peoples, ultimately defeating them but at great cost to his own kingdom. Some of the Sea Peoples, like the Philistines, settled in the Levant, where they would play a key role in the history of ancient Israel. But even as the Bronze Age world was collapsing, a new technology was emerging that would change the course of history: iron. The Hittites were among the first to discover how to smelt iron, and they jealously guarded their secret. But over time, iron technology spread across the ancient world, from the Nok culture in West Africa to the Celtic cultures of Europe. Iron had several advantages over bronze. It was easier to obtain, as iron ore was more abundant than tin, and it was harder and more durable than bronze. As a result, iron slowly began to replace bronze as the metal of choice for tools, weapons, and armor. The Iron Age kingdoms of Israel and Judah, for example, were able to resist the might of the Assyrian Empire thanks in part to their use of iron weapons. But even as the world moved into the Iron Age, the impact of the Bronze Age lived on. The great civilizations of Greece and Rome, for example, were heavily influenced by the art, literature, and philosophy of the Bronze Age. The Phoenician alphabet, which was developed during the Bronze Age, would become the basis for the Greek and Latin alphabets, which in turn would be used to write some of the most important works of literature in human history. Today, the Bronze Age continues to fascinate and inspire us. Archaeologists are still making incredible discoveries, like the ancient city of Troy, which was long thought to be a myth, and the tomb of the Griffy warrior in Greece, which contained a treasure trove of gold and silver artifacts. It is clear that from the rise of agriculture and the first cities to the development of writing and the creation of great works of art, the Bronze Age laid the foundation for the world we know today. It was a time of great challenges and great triumphs, of war and peace, of innovation and tradition. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting historical content. Click the notification bell so you're always updated when we release new videos. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.